think the Middle Ages were all about dirty peasants, clumsy iron knights, and maybe a few fire-breathing dragons? Think again. Get ready, because I'm about to bust 13 medieval myths you've believed your whole life. And trust me, every single one is wrong. You'll definitely want to stay till the end, because myth number 3 is a total game. First up, the idea that people thought the Earth was flat. Nope. Medieval scholars not only knew the Earth was a sphere, but they had also calculated its approximate size centuries before Columbus even set sail. Myth 2. Castles were all gray, grim, and gloomy. Far from it. Medieval castles were often painted in vibrant, dazzling colors. Imagine bright red walls, blue-tiled roofs, and even gold trim. It was like stepping into a real-life fantasy world. Alright, here's the big one. Myth number 3. Everyone was dirty and never bathed. Wrong again. Public bathhouses were a common sight in medieval cities. People would bathe weekly, and some even daily. It wasn't until later that the church started discouraging public bathing, but for a long time, cleanliness was key. Myth 4. Peasants had no rights and were basically slaves. That's not the whole story. While life was tough, many peasants owned their own land, could take grievances to court, and some even had the right to vote in their local village councils. Number 5. Knights wore shiny, polished armor all the time. Sorry to bust your bubble, but that's a Hollywood fantasy. Real battle armor was rarely shiny. It was practical, often dark-colored to prevent rust, and covered in dents and scratches from actual combat. It was made for war, not for Myth 6. The church stifled all scientific progress. Actually, the opposite is often true. The church was one of the biggest funders of science and education. The very first universities, advancements in astronomy, and the study of medicine all flourished with support from religious institutions. Speaking of which, myth 7. Medieval doctors were all crazy quacks. Sure, they had some strange ideas, but they weren't just about leeches and prayers. They performed complex surgeries, studied anatomy, and had vast knowledge of herbal medicine that we still learn from today. Myth 8. People genuinely believed in fire-breathing dragons. While dragons were everywhere in art and stories, they were seen as powerful symbols, not literal creatures. They represented abstract concepts like evil, greed, or untamed chaos. What about food? Myth 9. Everyone ate huge legs of mutton all day. Not quite. The average medieval diet was heavily based on vegetables, bread, and grains. Meat was expensive and usually reserved for festivals and special occasions. Myth 10. The entire period was a dark age with no innovation. How can you call an age dark when they built breathtaking cathedrals, invented eyeglasses, and established the university system? It was an era of incredible growth and creativity. Myth 11. Women had zero power. Absolutely wrong. From queens like Eleanor of Aquitaine, who ruled vast territories, to women who ran their own businesses and guilds, many medieval women were educated, influential, and powerful figures in their own right. Myth 12. Everyone died young, around age 30. That average is skewed because, sadly, many children didn't survive infancy. If you made it to adulthood, you had a good chance of living well into your 50s or 60s, just like today. And finally, myth 13. Vikings wore horned helmets. This is a total fabrication. There is zero historical or archaeological evidence for this. The horned helmet look was actually invented for an opera in the 1800s because it looked dramatic on stage. So, the Middle Ages weren't dark or backward, just seriously misunderstood. Which one of these myths shocked you the most? Drop a comment below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more historical truth bombs. Thanks for watching.